Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello, I'm Jamie Kane, Superintendent of Marysville Public Schools. I want to welcome you to the Marysville High School 2014 Relay for Life Telethon. Once again, students and staff have hosted fundraisers throughout the school year to benefit the American Cancer Society. It's hard to believe, but this year promises to be the best year yet with all of the hard work and efforts from so many people to make this telethon possible. Today marks the 8th annual telethon produced live right here in our own M6 studio. Our communication arts students have worked with diligence, dedication, and excitement over the past several months to bring you what promises to be an amazing telethon and exciting show today. It's our hope you enjoy the inspirational stories shared today from our students and our community members, and certainly the talents that those students and community members bring as well. Thank you for watching, and most importantly, thank you for contributing to this great cause.
Watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello and welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. I'm your host, Cami Bacon. We have very many exciting events going on today at the high school, so be sure to come and check those out. Some of these events include a mom-to-mom sale, the Drive a Dodge Center, a car wash, a book sale, carnival games for kids, a princess tea, a taste fest, and a craft show. So be sure to come and check these out. And if you aren't able to make it today, be sure to keep watching on Channel 6, which will be broadcasting to you live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And pay attention for the number at the bottom of your screen to call in and make your own donation. Now let's head over to Aaron and Christine to see what they'll be doing for us today.
Thanks, Cami. Today we'll be doing check presentations from various groups who helped out the Marysville Relay for Life team. I am very eager to talk and thank these people who helped a great cause. And Aaron, what will you be doing today?
I will first be reading pledges that those of you at home can make. You can make them, of course, by calling the number that will soon be coming on your screen, or by stopping by the high school and making a pledge. Any amount of money is wanted, or needed, I should say. I must say, it's telethon number 3 for me. It's a great event, great cause, and I'm always excited to be doing it each year. Now, Cami, back.
Thanks, Aaron and Christine. What an awesome way to see which people and groups in our community are contributing to Relay for Life today. Some of the events we'll be talking about have already taken place, like the talent show and the 5K run this morning, but there are so many more things still going on right now at Marysville High School. Let's head over to Ryan to see what he'll be doing for us today.
Thanks. Today I'll be interviewing many special guests throughout the telethon, and I can't wait to get started. Back to you, Cami.
Thanks, Ryan. Now let's head down to the Commons with Liz and Mickey to see what's going on down there.
Thanks, Cami. I'm Mickey Rast.
And I'm Liz Sturtridge.
And we got lots going on down here in the Commons, so we'll be taking quick interviews.
From the craft show, the taste fest, and even the Princess Tea Party.
So make sure you come on and bring the family down to the 2014 Relay for Life. Back up to you, Cami.
Thanks, Mickey and Liz. Be sure to come out and see all the great things we have going on. Now let's watch a wonderful musical performance by the DeHeno Brothers.
You're watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. Now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time is right for us to find all the things you thought weren't proper could be right and high. And can you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. Look at me and tell me, Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's come to what you want, you've had your way. And all the things you thought before just faded into gray. And can you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. But take a look at me and tell me, Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Longer if I do, yeah. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love with you.
We hope you're enjoying the Relay for Life Telethon. Joining us now is Sharon Wilton from the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So what is the goal or the mission of the American Cancer Society?
Well, our mission really is twofold. It's really to provide programs and services for cancer patients and their family, and also to provide education for people who want to learn about the effects of cancer and who want to stay healthy.
What is your role at the American Cancer Society?
Well, my role is a staff partner to support the Relay for Life events in the St. Clair County. So I'm the specialist Relay for Life for our area.
Is the Relay for Life your biggest event of the year?
It is. Relay for Life is the largest fundraising event that we have at the American Cancer Society. It's also the largest single cause fundraiser in the United States.
What are the dates for this year's Relay at the mall?
This year it's May 17th and 18th, so we start on Saturday the 17th at 9 a.m.
Why has the Birchwood Mall been the site for the Relay for the last couple of years?
Well, it's the biggest area that we have. We have around 50 teams that camp and spend the night, so we need the room. So the mall has been gracious enough to host us for a number of years.
That's amazing. I'm so glad so many different people come to help out.
It's great.
So I understand St. Clair County has two other relays. When and where are they located?
Sure. June 14th is our Relay for Life of East China, and that's going to be at the East China Stadium this year. We moved from the park. And then June 21st is the Relay for Life of KPAC at the KPAC High School Stadium.
Cool. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
So besides the Relay for Life, what are some other fundraisers the group does throughout the year?
Sure. Well, for the American Cancer Society, we have a couple of really big initiatives. One, obviously, being Relay for Life, and the second is making strides against breast cancer, obviously specific to breast cancer research and fundraising, and that takes place in October. We do have one right here in St. Clair County as well.
Cool. So does the money that's raised stay locally? Or?
Well, really, the American Cancer Society is a nationwide organization, and residents in our area do benefit from the dollars that are raised. We have programs at both of our hospitals to help with cancer support, and also Look Good, Feel Better, which is for our ladies that are going through cancer treatment. And anyone has access to our 24-hour website and 800 number, as well as some financial services that are provided to residents in our county, yes.
That's really awesome. I'm so glad you guys can help out so much with it.
Yeah, thank you.
So besides research activities, can you give us a little better understanding of how the money raised is used to help?
Sure. Research is our primary function, and we support a lot of research programs, 22 of them going on right now at the University of Michigan. But besides that, the dollars go to support our programs and services. So like the 800 number that I mentioned in our website, we take 3,000 calls a day from newly diagnosed cancer patients around the nation, and that the dollars help support that. We do support some financial services for patients that maybe don't have insurance or who are in need financially. We have a program called Road to Recovery, in which we have volunteers that are trained by our organization to drive cancer patients to their treatments if they're not able to drive. So that's just a few of the things that we do.
Sounds like you're doing some really great work. Thank you so much for coming in
Thank
today.
you for your support.
Mrs. Wilson is going to join us again later in the show. Now let's get back to the relay.
I am Addison's father, and she has acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is ALL leukemia. We have a 8-year-old daughter. Her name is Adrian. My wife, her name is Ashley. And we have a great amount of family support from the grandmothers and grandfathers on both of Addison's sides. Some of the first symptoms were the fatigue. She was tired, napped more, just wanted to be held and cuddled more. And then eventually some random bruising started. There was bruising all over her body, like abnormal bruising that was just like, wow, how did this happen? And my first thing is low iron deficiency runs in my family, so I just try to assure my wife, maybe it's just low iron, you know, maybe we need to get some blood work done. And so she called and we scheduled a doctor's visit, and we said the only way we're bringing her in is if you draw blood, so they agreed to that. But prior leading up to that, she had texted me from doing a lot of research and said, Mike, what if she has leukemia? I still have the text saved on my phone to this day, and I just try to reassure her that, babe, it's not, it's probably just low iron, you know, maybe we just need to get something to help it out. And a mother's gut feeling, I guess, is never wrong, because the day that she ended up going to the doctors, and she was diagnosed within an hour and a half, and we're on our way to Children's, and the diagnosis was ALL leukemia. Just devastating. You know, my wife had messaged me earlier in the week and said, you know, based on the symptoms, oh my God, Mike, what if she has leukemia? And I just kind of reassure her that it was not. I said, babe, maybe she just has some low iron, something, because of the bruising. And it was just devastating at first. I was out in Ypsilanti working, and so I was an hour and a half away, and it just like your whole life got flipped upside down. You know, like a lot of things just been taken away from you. A lot of the significant challenges, they affect you in many ways I didn't even think imaginable at first, let alone with, as a parent, you're just so helpless. Your hands are in modern medicine and God, which are two amazing places, but as a parent, you're supposed to be a protector, and you know, there's just nothing you could do to take the pain away. On top of that, there's a lot of medicine. There has to be a lot of sacrifices made by the parents. My wife Ashley had to quit her job to stay at home and take care of our daughter, because when she's on chemotherapy, they have no immune system, so she can't be around a lot of kids. We can't have a lot of people over. Not only that, we have an 8-year-old daughter, Adrian, and with that comes a lot of challenges in itself to try to tell her what leukemia was, that sister was sick, trying to make sure she was happy, try to keep her life as normal as possible. And then on top of that, the husband and wife's relationship gets put on the back burner a lot, just from the aspect you're both just trying to do what you can to get through the time, to take care of your daughters, make sure every day is normal to normal, and we forget to take time for ourselves sometimes. But, you know, along with the challenges came a lot of great things for us. You know, I think we learned a lot of things about ourselves. I thought myself that I was a good father, but I learned I could be a better father. I thought I was a good person, but I learned I could be a better person. You know, and it kind of helped me make me put life into perspective. You know, so a lot of blessings come out of it, along with a lot of negatives. The medicine at first was hard to get her to take. It's not very good tasting, and she'll let you know that, but we made it fun. Ashley did a good job naming them like tropical, strawberry, so every medicine we have a name for. So she knows what one she's getting, and with time, you know, things got easier. We were always there. We always made it fun for her, and that's how we made things get through these last 10 months. The time frame for the treatment is typically somewhere between 2.5 and 3 years. There's about 10 to 11 months of intense liquid chemo, which gets injected into her body. There was a period of about 2 months where every other week we'd have hospital stays. She got a chemo that had to be run over 24 hours, and they had to keep her in there to monitor her. You know, so for about 10 months, 11 months, it's very hard, very rigorous. You're down at the hospital 2 to 3 days a week, not only for chemo, but also blood transfusions. She needs platelets and red blood cells. So, you know, with that being said, we're nearing the end. We're in our 10th month. We're in the last phase. We have a few weeks left. And then we will be in the maintenance phase for 2 years, where she will receive a chemo pill every day for 2 years and be on steroids periodically throughout those 2 years. So we still got about 2 more years of treatment left. The words of advice I'd give is take it as a good thing. Don't look at it as a negative thing. You have 2 choices every day. You can wake up and hate the situation you're in and hate your life, or you can look up and face the challenge head on. And I think those who are able to wake up with a positive attitude every day is going to help get you through it. And look at all the good things that are going to come out of it. You know, I believe everything happens for a reason. And with us, it's helped bring us closer together as a family. It's helped bring us closer together to our families, and it's helped open our eyes to a lot of other patients in this world who have a lot of different illnesses. You know, so we're very thankful in a lot of ways, and just as a parent, the sacrifices, just know it's short term. You know, you have to give up a little bit now to gain a lot later. You know, there's going to be days where it's going to be hard waking up in the middle of the night to deal with the symptoms, or it's going to be hard to quit your job. It's going to be hard to take care of both kids, you know, but with it comes a great thing, you know, and the joy of life is a precious thing, and what you get in reward is very little for what we have to sacrifice as parents. You know, we really haven't discussed that yet. You know, success for me is my goal is to walk her down the aisle someday. It's something I look forward to and something I believe is going to happen. But, you know, the success I think will be just getting her back into some type of normalcy, allowing her to play with her friends again, allowing her to be outside. And, you know, just we have discussed that every year on the day from her treatment, we're going to set off a light balloon into the sky. And so every year, that's what we're going to do as a family to celebrate, you know, something great that we have been able to get through and accomplish.
Thanks for watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello and welcome back to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. What an inspirational interview with Mike Groulx and his daughter Addison. It just reminds us of the amazing people in our community that Relay for Life has an impact on. Now let's head over to Christine and Aaron to see our latest pledges and donations.
Thanks, Cami. I'm here with Miss Saha from the Marysville Student Council. She's the teacher advisor. She's also dressed up as Snow White for the Princess Tea Party. I encourage you to come down and have tea with this wonderful princess. Back to Student Council. I hear that the Student Council did a talent show. How did that go, and was it hard to find acts?
The talent show was absolutely a success, and it's not hard to find acts because we have so many talented individuals at Marysville High School, and we actually have to turn people away because the show's not long enough to contain all the talent that we have.
Wow, that's wonderful. And how did you raise money?
We raise money by having each of the acts pay a $5 tryout fee, and then every student that comes into the talent show pays $1 to get in.
That's great. And how much money did you raise from that?
We ended up raising $1,390 from the talent show.
That's wonderful. We thank you and everyone who participated in the talent show.
And now I have 3 pledges. Imagine, already in 20 minutes, we already got 3 pledges. A very generous donation of $25 from Dave and Jan Schmarro in memory of Dick Denarden and Mary Schmarro. A $100 donation from Ken and Beth Moreski in honor of Jack Murray, or in memory of Jack Murray, excuse me. And a very generous donation as well of $100 from Joe and Gay Vigna. We hope to get quite a few more pledges than this. Cami, back to you.
Thanks, Aaron and Christine, and thank you to all who have already made a donation. Another way you can help is by visiting the craft show today. Ryan Bennett is with Miss Taylor right now to talk a little bit more about that. Over to you, Ryan.
Thanks. So I'm here with Mrs. Taylor about the craft show. So why don't you start us off by telling us what it is exactly?
Well, we have tables set up for individual crafters that in Marysville, and I think there's some people that are from Port Huron and St. Clair as well. And they bring items that they have made, and to sell, they pay a fee for the table that goes to Relay for Life, and then whatever they make on their crafts, they get to keep.
Sounds great. When is this craft show?
It's going on now until 2 o'clock, and anybody can come down and check out the crafts.
How many crafters exactly do you think you have?
We have approximately 20 craft tables this year, which is awesome.
That is pretty amazing.
It is.
All right, that sounds like the craft show is going real good. We'll send it back to you, Cami.
Thanks, Ryan. What an amazing way to raise money. Now let's head down to the Commons with Liz and Mickey to see what's going on down there.
With Mr. Smarrow from the Mom to Mom sale. So, Mr. Smarrow, can you tell us a little bit about what time the Mom to Mom sale is going on till?
The Mom to Mom sale, we're going on until 1 o'clock today.
1 o'clock, okay. And do you know what exactly you guys are selling in the Mom to Mom sale?
Oh, there's clothes from size birth up until the teens, and toys and bikes. So.
Okay, and how much money did you guys raise last year?
Over $800 last year.
Oh, really? Are you guys planning to exceed that?
Well, we're hoping to.
Okay. Now let's send it over to Liz for the Drive a Dodge.
Thanks, Mickey. I'm here with Nick from Blue Water Chrysler. So tell us, what kind of cars did you bring for us today?
We brought the Dodge lineup today. We got the Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Journey, the Dodge Dart, and the Grand Caravan.
That sounds good. Can you tell us where Blue Water Chrysler is located?
We're located in Fort Gratiot on 24th Avenue.
How much do you expect to raise today, and do you think the turnout will be as good as it was last year?
It is raining. We're expecting a great turnout. We raised over $2,000 last year. We're hoping to exceed that.
That sounds really important. Make sure you come on down. It's for a great cause. Now back up to you, Cami.
Thanks, Mickey and Liz. It sounds like there's a lot going on down at the Commons here at Marysville High School today. Thank you to everyone who's participating in the events. And be sure if you can't make it down to the high school to call the number at the bottom of your screen and make a donation. Now it's time to check the tote board. Our previous total was $0, and our current total is $925. Who's contributed. Now it's time to watch a promotional video about the senior versus staff games.
Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Marysville High School's Relay for Life team has been a focal point for community awareness for the past decade. Students and staff take every opportunity we can to raise money and awareness to support Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. Through our efforts, we believe we are helping our family, friends, and community defeat a vicious opponent, cancer. As is the tradition at Marysville High School, our seniors came together to raise money and have some fun at the annual Seniors vs. Staff Games. Tug of war, volleyball, and of course netball were on the agenda. Senior students participated in Waves again this year as a way of having fun with almost former teachers while helping contribute to the Relay for Life team. We asked some seniors why they participated in the Senior versus Staff Games.
I participated in the games because it was my senior year and I've always wanted to do it and help Relay for Life.
I participated to help the Relay for Life and just kind of get some school spirit in the gymnasium.
I participated in the games because it was my senior year and it's our only chance to beat up the teachers.
Senior participants told us if they believe they personally helped Relay for Life by playing in the games and how.
Yeah, I mean all the money that went towards the games went towards Relay for Life, so I thought I'd help out too.
Yeah, I believe it did help because it got the students in to pay $1 for the ticket, and obviously the money goes to the Relay for Life team.
I think they helped a lot because every student had to pay $1 to get in the game, and the seniors also had to pay $1 to play in the games.
We appreciate all of the teachers and especially this year's seniors for participating in the fun-natured competition that benefited our Marysville High School's Relay for Life team and the American Cancer Society. With the help of every participant and student spectators, we raised $700 to benefit Relay for Life.
Boat out on the
stuck and deep inside this ancient heart, you'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday your child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die, that's how you and I will be.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying our Relay for Life telethon. We now have a special guest, Brent Gilmore, radiology oncologist from St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure, nice to meet you.
Now, how long have you been at Mercy Hospital, and how did you begin specializing in oncology?
Well, I actually went to the St. Clair County Community College for a few years, and then I went from there to Wayne State University, where most of the folks that work in our department went through the Wayne State program. And I've been with Mercy Hospital for about 28 years now.
Can you tell us a little, specifically about what oncology is and your job is and your specialty?
Okay. Basically, I'm the director of the department at St. Joseph Mercy Port Huron, and I'm also the dosimetrist. And basically what we're doing is we're treating cancer patients with radiation. And the whole study of cancer in itself is called oncology. So we're specifically radiation oncology versus like medical oncology, which would be someone who would be giving people chemotherapy, that type of thing, drug medicine. So we're actually using beams of radiation from a machine called a linear accelerator, which is similar to a machine that they would use to take an x-ray of you, but it's a much more powerful beam. The way I usually try to give an analogy to folks, it would be essentially, you can wear a lead shield. I know if you've been to the dentist before and have had a thyroid shield, well, you'd have to wear a shield about this thick to stop the beam that we're using. So it's quite different. Yeah. When you're getting an x-ray of your teeth, for example, if you were to sneeze, you can simply redo that x-ray because you're only receiving a small amount of radiation, but now we're giving therapeutic doses of radiation. So when you're getting that x-ray, for example, for your teeth, you're getting less than a rad. A rad is a measurement of radiation. You're getting less than a rad of this kilovoltage energy, where we're given millivoltage energy, and we can give people up to 600 rads in one shot. So if you give that to the wrong spot, you can't redo it. It's completely different than diagnostic radiology.
Right. Now, with all that, having to deal with that, can you take us through what a typical day would be like working at a Mercy Hospital?
Sure. Basically, we treat approximately 25 patients a day. We have patients coming every 10 to 20 minutes. The first thing you need to do is go in and test the linear accelerator to make sure that it's functioning properly for that day. Our first patients start to arrive about 8 o'clock. The people that actually give the treatments are called radiation therapists, similar to like a physical therapist or occupational therapist, so they specialize in that care. Patients taken into the room, positioned We have a system of lasers and different immobilization devices to hold them in place. Then the only person in the room then is the patient. We have the radiation therapists have to leave the room. They monitor the patient from outside. They can see and hear them. They turn the beam on, and the treatment is delivered. The patient doesn't feel anything. They hear a little bit of noise, and then of course we had to use different angles around the patient to come in and hit the cancer area and try to miss a lot of the healthy structure.
So now, do you generally see your patients through referrals from other doctors? Is that how patients come to?
We do. Actually, the radiation oncologist, who is the physician, that's Dr. Groulx. He's been with us about 28 years. So he would receive referrals from like the medical oncologists, the ones that give the chemotherapy, like Dr. Cox. I know you've interviewed him in the past. And a lot of the surgeons would refer to us as well.
Now, can you just talk about your staff real quick and how many people are involved in this process?
So we have 4 radiation therapists that actually give the treatments. We have a nurse that knows specifically about the different side effects from the delivery of radiation to a patient. We have a secretary, obviously, a multi-skilled assistant. We have the dosimetrist, which is another one of my roles, which is the computer treatment planning. Again, once the physician identifies the target or the tumor, the cancer area, you need to then manipulate the software and try to determine which angles to come in and treat the cancer with. So there's a dosimetrist person that does that kind of work. And then there's a medical physicist that works with us as well, and his responsibilities are to make sure that machine is actually functioning properly, and we're delivering the correct dose. When we say we want to give a person 100 rads, we're giving a person 100 rads of radiation.
Right. Now, do you and your staff deal with all types of cancer?
We do. Radiation is used to treat many, many different forms of cancer. There's only a few probably not, and it's used in conjunction with surgery often, or with chemotherapy, either before or after. So it's a multidisciplinary approach to treating it, and we're one piece of that equation.
Can you talk about the difficulties and troubles you have dealing with cancer patients compared to other types of illnesses or diseases?
Well, obviously, cancer is a heavy word. Everybody has probably known somebody that's had cancer. When people hear the word cancer, they think the worst. However, when I went into the field it's been 28 years now, the cure rates, when we talk about cure rates in cancer care, it's 5 years of cancer-free survival to start with.
Right.
They were dismal. They were probably down in the 65-70% range, and now here we've come 25 years later, and now it's up to the 80+ range. So it's a lot of doing your diagnostic screening, finding these things early, getting treatment. So a lot of the people are actually cured, but then we do have the hard cases where folks are not going to make it. So we're either going for a curative intent to try to cure the patient, or if the cancer has spread from the original area, metastasized to another location, the chances for cure start to go down a little, and then you may be going for more of a palliative intent, and palliative means to alleviate some of the symptoms as far as pain and discomfort from the cancer.
Right. Now, you talked about how the cure rates have gone up since you've been in the field. Can you talk about how the research and treatment has changed in that time as well?
Right. The equipment that we use, that linear accelerator I spoke of, is much more advanced than it was initially. Computerization came into play here 30 years or so ago, so a lot of the calculations and things were done from tables and by hand, if you will, initially. Now the software that we used, if you can remember using like DOS, and now you're using Windows 7 now. So it's a similar effect as far as the planning part of it goes. And the machines themselves, the beams they produce are much more refined, as well as all of the other side of the thing is the medical oncology, the chemotherapy side. So there's a lot of clinical trials going on. We have the ability to get people into those here in St. Clair County through St. Joe's Mercy. And they try different spinning things a little bit, if you will, until they can refine it so that the patient has the best chance of cure. So over time, these things are getting better and better.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. Now, Mr. Guillermo will join us later in the day, but for now, let's get back to the telethon.
Thanks for watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Hello and welcome back to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station. I'm your host, Cami Bacon. I hope you enjoyed that interview by the radiologist from Mercy Hospital. It just goes to remind us that all the money being donated to Relay for Life today goes to people who really, really need it. Now let's head over to Aaron to see our latest donation.
Thank you, Cammie. I'm here with Mr. Smith representing the Washington Elementary Kindergarten Coins for Cancer. So exactly how much do you have for us today?
Well, we have a total of $117.98 for Mrs. Hudson's kindergarten class at Washington School.
Thank you. That's a very generous amount. So how did they raise the money?
Well, all year long, Mrs. Hudson does a great job teaching the kids about giving back to their community. There's so many neat things that she teaches them, and one of them is that the students bring in a little bit of spare change, and all year they keep accumulating until they can give it to us in May for this very important cause.
So they've been doing it for the whole year then?
All year long. It's a pretty neat activity, and as you said earlier, for kindergartners, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for me, $10 was a lot of money. Now, Cammie, let's go back to you.
Thanks, Aaron. If you want to get your kids involved, be sure to bring them to the Tea with real-life princesses or to play some carnival games that MHS is putting on. Let's head over to Ryan to learn more about that.
Thanks. I'm here with Logan Hoffman from the National Honor Society. He's helping run the kids' games downstairs. So why don't you start us off by telling us what kind of games you have?
Well, there's a large variety of games that we've got going on down there, such as a duck pond, there's a dart game, there's a ring toss, there's a game where you spin a wheel and win a prize. There's a bunch of fun things to do down there for your kids.
How many games would you say that you have down there right now?
There's probably about a dozen or so games that we're running.
So do you think the kids can take an experience away from this, coming to the telethon and everything?
Yeah, I think they can have a lot of fun playing the games down there, and it's also to a good cause, and they can win some fun prizes too.
Sounds great. So make sure you bring your kid down here and have some fun. Now let's send it back to Cammie.
Thanks, Ryan, and thank you, Logan, and all of National Honor Society for putting that on for us. Now, there was a group of people who got up early today and ran, no matter what the weather was, in some of the events that we had going on. There was a 5K run, the Marysville Mile, and a Kids Fun Run. Let's head down to the Commons with Mickey and Liz to learn more about that.
Thanks, Cammie. I'm here with Kayla Walker from the Com Arts Department. So tell us, how long have you been in Com Arts?
I've been in Com Arts for 2 semesters so far.
So how did you do to prepare for the Relay for Life?
This year we have been preparing for about a month, and we've had interviews in the studio, and also we've had entertainment pieces going.
Can you tell me what's your favorite part of the relay, and how did you get involved in it to begin with?
Well, last year I got to see it firsthand when I came through, and I got involved this year because I'm in Com Arts, and I got the opportunity to come down because Mr. Smith just gave us all the opportunity, and I took advantage of it this year.
And your favorite part?
I think the princesses down here is probably my favorite part right now, and just the fact that all the money that we're raising is going to a good cause.
That's really good. Now over to Mickey.
Thanks, Liz. I'm here with Mr. Rogers from the run down at the high school. So, Mr. Rogers, will you tell us how many runners came out today?
We had 21 runners this morning.
Okay, and who were the top finishers that you had?
On the boys' side, Josh Story, he finished 1939, and Maddie Moldenhauer, she was in 22:30.
Okay. Did the weather have a little bit of an effect about how many people came out today?
I think so. I mean, it says 50 degrees out there, but when it's overcast and raining a little bit, some people want to stay inside.
Yeah, and since the run is over, there's a lot going down in the Commons. What's the thing that you look to do next?
Well, I was looking at taking the cars out, test driving. I think it's always interesting what they bring down at Blue Water Chrysler.
Yeah, it's very nice what they bring down. Now let's send it back up to Cammie to check the tote board.
Thanks, Mickey and Liz, and thank you to everyone who's participating in our events today. Don't let the weather get you down. You can come and enjoy some of our indoor things like a book sale, a mom-to-mom sale, and the craft show. Now it's time to check the tote board. Our previous total was $925, and our current total is $1,775. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated. And if you can't come down to the high school today, keep watching on Channel 6 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And call the number at the bottom of your screen to make a donation. Now it's time to watch an interview with cancer survivor Dawn Rienas.
Welcome to the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.
Being tired and losing weight, but the major thing was the lump underneath the arm. And I had a family history with cancer, so I kind of knew something was going on. I was diagnosed with the breast cancer. It was stage 1, but aggressive because it was also in my lymph node. So they wanted to do chemo for 6 months and then radiation for 5 weeks every day besides Saturday and Sunday. My reaction was that I knew, and I was scared at first, but then I knew that I had friends and family and the good Lord right beside me, so I knew I could do it. The first time with the cancer, it was just chemo. But then when the cancer came back, it was chemo and radiation. Chemo was both times for 6 months. And then since it did spread to the lymph node, they wanted me to also do radiation for 5 weeks every day. There's a lot of side effects. Especially the second time around with the cancer, it messed up my nails. I had no appetite. It depends on you. I mean, I still worked, but you were always tired, and it was very time consuming, especially the treatments were 4 hours for chemo, and then radiation. It was a real super bad sunburn, and I'll live with that burn the rest of my life. The first time that, the time frame with the first bout of cancer, I would say probably a good year, and then I was in, I guess you can say remission, but I have that cancer gene, so the gene will never go away. It could flare up anytime. And it did 5 years to the day, so I was cancer-free for about 4 years. And then the 5th year it came back, and I just got done with all my treatments, and it's been close to a year, so it's time-consuming. Everybody. And if I would have to do this all over again, I would, because I've met so many wonderful people, family, friends, co-workers. Like I said, the good Lord helped me through it. My mom and dad, they were up in heaven, but they were right by my side, just pushing me along, making sure that I was gonna handle this with my head up high, and I could do it. I'm not too sure because they just took another lump out, and I don't know if it's cancer. Hopefully it's not, but just go with the flow and day by day. Hopefully it's a good outlook. I think I have a special bond with people knowing that they have cancer, just because I know how they're going through, and I take the bad that I'm feeling and try and give them positive thoughts. because I know maybe they're a little bit worse than I am. Like the one person, her cancer was throughout her whole body, and I just wanted to make sure that her last living days were good ones. You know, you always got to give them hope and make sure that they know that they have people that care.
Come support the American Cancer Society at Birchwood Mall on May 17th. Start a team and raise money to fight cancer. Honor survivors and caregivers at a family-friendly 24-hour event. Come to Relay for Life. Come be a hero.
Hope you are enjoying the Relay for Life Telethon. Joining us now is April Bush from Gardens Elementary School. Welcome, Mrs. Bush. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Good. Now, can you explain to our viewers what the Relay Recess is all about?
Relay Recess is a partnership between the American Cancer Society and elementary schools. So it has three components. So it starts with an education piece. So we have, at Gardens, we have the gym teachers teaching the kids about nutrition, physical activity, tobacco prevention, and then sun safety. And then the next piece is fundraising. So we'll be doing a small fundraiser at the school in May. And then also the physical activity piece. So with Gardens, we'll be doing field day.
Okay, that's really cool that you get the kids involved as well.
Yeah.
So how long have you been planning the recess program?
At Gardens, it's been a short period. It's been maybe about a month. So we're starting a little bit later in the game, so we're doing it a little more low key. So
okay, and how did you come along like starting it? Like how did you guys think of the idea?
Well, I'm very involved with Relay for Life, so I knew of the program. So I know that Mrs. Curley was interested in it. So I asked them if they'd be interested, and they said yes, and so we went ahead with it.
And this, you said, would be the first recess for the Garden School?
Yes, their first one.
Okay, and are there any other schools in our area at Marysville or Port Huron or St. Clair like participating?
In St. Clair, Eddy Elementary does one, but that's the only other one that I'm aware of.
Were you able to talk with others about how to plan your activities?
Yeah, there's a group of us that are planning it. I have support from the American Cancer Society, and then of course Mrs. Curley partnering with her. So.
Okay. And how are you planning on having the children get involved with the fundraising and with the field day? Are they going to like run it themselves, or are they just going to raise the money and then just participate in the field day?
Well, they'll be doing the education piece with the gym teachers, so that kind of gets them started in it and lets them know, gets them aware of what's happening. And then with the fundraising piece, they'll be taking home, actually they'll be selling these little stars.
Okay.
So they'll be taking those home and telling their family about it, so that kind of gets the whole family involved. So they'll be selling stars for $1. And then they'll be doing their field day, so it kind of gets the whole school involved.
How do you think the children of Gardens will benefit from the relay recess?
Well, it'll give them some knowledge about how to prevent cancer that they can take back to their family and hopefully, kind of spread it throughout the community.
Okay, and how did adults and teachers and probably older students help organize the recess?
Well, we have some parent volunteers that'll be helping for field day and with the different activities. And then some of the teachers will be involved, Mrs. Curley, of course. So.
Okay, and how can, let's say a high school student wants to come help, like for NHS points or just for the good cause of it.
Yeah.
How do the other students or other people at home get involved?
Anyone's welcome to help us out. What you would want to do is contact myself or contact Gardens, let them know you're interested, and we can give you a role for sure.
Oh, awesome. I'm sure a lot of students will actually take a hold of that opportunity and just run with it.
Yeah.
It's a great way to start getting involved in the program too.
Right.
So after you guys raise the money, where are you directing the money towards?
Well, we're putting our money to Marysville High School's Relay for Life team, and then of course the money goes to the American Cancer Society.
Okay. So that goes right back to the Marysville team, which goes right back to the relay at Port Huron.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. And I understand that there's a wonderful website to help our viewers understand more about Relay Recess. Can you tell us about that a bit?
It's relayrecess.org, and there's all kinds of information. If someone wants to start their own relay recess, there's information on how to get started. And then there's just information for parents, teachers, and the children. So anything they want to find out is on there.
So I know this is kind of future speaking, we haven't even started this one yet, but what are the goals for the next year or two of the Relay Recess program?
Well, I know next year we're planning on doing it bigger. We're going to start earlier, so we'll have more time to plan. And there's some good things coming for next year, too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, this really, it sounds like a phenomenal program, especially for kids to get involved at such a young age. Well, thank you for coming in today, Miss Bush. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you, Sarah. And now let's get back to the telethon.
You're watching the 2014 Relay for Life Telethon on M6, your hometown station.